Hello, how y'all doing today? Hopefully everybody's doing great. We're gonna have Superstar K join us in a minute, and we're gonna talk some music and stuff. So yeah, join us. Superstar K will be joining us in a second. Okay. Yeah, just sent the live out, so he should be joining us really soon. You guys can catch this interview on Spotify, Apple Music. You guys can catch the playback of this interview. Also on IGTV Live, and like I said, it will be distributed everywhere. Hey, Superstar K, what's up? Just join the live. Send a request up, and I'll bring you up. But yeah, you guys can catch the playback of this interview, IGTV. You guys could also catch this, like I said, streamed everywhere, man. It's gonna be everywhere. All right, bro. Hey, what's up, Red Man? How you doing? How you doing, Radical? How you doing, bro?
I'm doing all right. How about yourself?
I'm good, man. It's great that we finally meet.
Yeah.
I know it's late up out there, you know what I mean? I know it's like past 12 o'clock, so, I don't want to hold you for too long, but I do have some questions to ask you because, I definitely have a lot to ask after, doing my research and after listening to your music. You know what I'm saying?
No, you good, man. It's good timing for me. I'm up all night anyway.
Of course.
Regular studio.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will say that you have a lot of talents because you're not just a singer. You're a singer, you're a rapper, you're a producer. You own a couple businesses. So can you get into that a little bit?
Yeah, I started producing. I was like 11. And I started producing because, like,
wow,
my older cousin did it. So I was like trying to learn drum machines. It was too hard. So I got into like the FL programs and all that, whatever, and started like taking it a little bit easier. Just pushing it over the years. I made a lot of money doing it. Got a couple of placements. I was excited about it, but it felt like I wanted more. So after like moving to different places around the country, I was like, all right, I come back home. All the same people that I've been making music with, they like, oh, we gonna go to the studio. We gonna do this. We gonna do that. I'm just like, man, nah. I'm like, I'm gonna go to the studio and go do it. And I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Everybody thinking that we just, talking or whatever. So I just go to the studio. And after that, you know what I'm saying, I turned up on a song. The engineer was solid. He put me together. It was a re-recording of something I had done in my own studio because he had more skill than me, whatever, and like he could see the vision and stuff. He had been behind the boards longer. It was just me, you know what I'm saying, doing my own home thing. So it wasn't too good when I did it. But he brought it to life. So then I tested another record. He was, you know what I'm saying, rocking with it, whatever. He brought that one to life. And so from there, he was like, you actually pretty good. And I'm just sitting there like, he just don't know that that's all I have. Like, that I don't have nothing else. Right. So I started writing for it to keep up with him and the other people that were there. Just every night I would turn up 4 or 5 songs a night. Did that for about 6-7 months. I mean, every single night, I didn't take a night off, whatever. I wanted to be better than anybody around me. You know what I'm saying? So I had studied production for so long that I could break a beat down, of course.
Right.
Watched him doing the production because I would record so quick that I could come back out and watch him doing everything on the board. So I learned how to do it all for myself. Took all that back home, and then I just started turning up even more because then I didn't have to pay for studio time. I could just do it myself. And since then, I'm turning up on people. Yeah.
Wow, man. Like, that's fucking amazing, man. Like, to be honest with you, like, you're very, like I said, you're extremely talented. And for you to learn to produce, or for you to start learning at least at 11 years old, that's, you know what I mean? That's exceptional. That's a calling right there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I appreciate it. My son is working on it now. He started when he was about 10, 11. And he's about to be 13 this year. He producing. He sings as well, raps. So, I mean,
so it just moved down the family. Yeah. That's what's up, bro.
A bit, whatever. Couple other like little cousins and stuff, whatever. They trying to get into the production and stuff. So, big shout out to them, whatever. Like, yeah, I'm actually anxious to see what this next generation brings about.
Yes,
it's more effective.
definitely.
So
Definitely, man. So, do you often stay up all night, or are you often up all night? Because you did make a song called "Overtime," where you just talked about your hustle and just talked about like how you just are up producing, singing, and you put a couple of personal things in there too. So, tell me about that song "Overtime" and the music video as a whole.
Yeah, as far as as far as like my work ethic, I'm up every night. Like my studio was one of the only 24-hour studios in Cleveland.
Oh wow!
For within
Okay.
reason, we worked all the time. So the video Overtime was shot at my home studio. It started as a home studio, but with the business booming as well as it did, it expanded a bunch. But the video was shot like I did the song for the project Nightfall. It was one of my first projects that I was dropping. It wasn't an official album. It was something I just wanted to give away free, and this was after my first album. So like I had tweaked the quality a bunch. I had learned so many new things. I wanted to put out new music because I felt like I kind of lacked a little bit in that area when it came to the actual album because it was rushed.
Okay.
So we go into the studio, whatever, me and the team, we go into the studio, we're working on a project. We decide we're going to put the project together in 24 hours. So we start, it's like, I said 11.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Most of the projects that I drop are done in 24 hours. The only ones that aren't is the albums. So yeah, like all of those other projects, like Nightfall 1, 2, and 3, all of those.
Are y'all hearing this, people? He said he'd be doing projects in 24 hours. What?
So, as far as the video, like I play the songs for my boy, whatever. We started on the project, it was like 3 a.m. And so I started, we do the intro. My clients had just left. They so you know what I'm saying, I got some free time. So I knock out the first few songs. More clients come in, we're going throughout the day. As we get to like near the end, I do a song, my bro hears it, and he's like, oh yeah, this is a hit. But I had just done the song at like 5 a.m. It was like one of the third or fourth songs I had done that night for the project. Okay. And it was, I wanted to do something directly to my children because I was supposed to spend that day with them, but I ended up working the entire day. And so I'm just talking to them and talking to the family about, what all I'm doing every day, why I'm doing this, why I'm doing that. And my bro's like, yeah, it's a hit. And I'm looking at him, and I'm telling him the exact opposite. I'm like, no. I'm like, this is something that's more personal. That people are not gonna, they're not gonna like it. They're not gonna feel this way, so forth. He's like, bruh, listen to me. He stopped me. He pulled me. He like, look at me in my face, man. He like, this gonna be a hit. He like, we're gonna shoot a video for it. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that. And I'm like, all right, man, I hear you. So I blow him off. I ain't gonna lie to you. I straight blew him off. I'm like, all right, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I ain't thinking that. Within 48 hours, the man's like, hey, yeah, meet me up at such and such. So I go up there. We were I guess he had scheduled for us to shoot the video at one place, whatever, but they were booked up that day, so we couldn't do it. So then we go back to the studio, and he's like, well, we just gonna shoot it here. I never knew the man that hit record when we were doing all of the scenes where I'm just sitting in my spot. I'm just going over the song. We got it playing, it's turned up on the speakers. I'm just going back and forth, whatever, you know what I'm saying? I never knew that he was recording until we get to when he's like, hey, step in the booth. At that point, I'm like, you're recording? I'm like, I'm thinking you're just adjusting the mic, whatever. I don't do videography, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know. And he's like, oh, yeah. He's like, we've been recording. And I got some good footage. So he go ahead and shoots it. And I mean, it just turned out a lot better than I expected, whatever. And people love that song. Like, I appreciate it, whatever. It was from the heart, definitely. Like, I meant every word that I said.
Yes, definitely, man. I really enjoyed that one. That's one of my favorites by you so far. And then also, I want to go backwards, and I want to dive deep into, your upbringing. So what was it like growing up in Cleveland for you?
I mean, I can't even say like it was hard, because like it's hard for everybody in some way, shape, or form. Whatever, with me coming up, whatever, it was a little more different. Like I didn't really have much, so I hustled like even young to go get things and I never was big on, I gotta have the newest this, I gotta have the newest that. It was just a matter of getting by for me. As I got a bit older, the money matured. It was like, okay, you've taken care of all of the necessities at this point. Now you can go ahead and do things because you want to do it. You know what I'm saying? So nowadays, that's how I kind of get a little more in tune, whatever. But as far as like coming up, whatever, it was for me, whatever, it was basic. It was just. And the reason I say it's basic, whatever, is because it was it was difficult for me, but now that I'm looking back, it structured me solidly. Like it put me together. I wouldn't be the same way that I am now, or whatever. I wouldn't even be close, or whatever. I wouldn't be able to have as much to write about, to lay down, to talk to people about, whatever. Like, because I always had to hustle to learn, you know what I'm saying, to get anything done. So I started learning to work on cars. I was doing beats. I started writing hooks for people. I started, you know what I'm saying, doing so many different things, trying to make sure that I always had a way to bring money in. You know what I'm saying, regardless of whatever. And so nowadays, there's just like, if it all feels worth it, it'll be like, that's all.
Wow, man. I really admire your hustle, and I really admire your drive. You know what I mean? Like, it sounds like you had a lot of self-discipline and a lot of drive from a very young age. And speaking of young age, I heard that you first wanted to sing, or first got encouraged to sing in church by your aunt. Is that true?
Yeah. She pushed the whole squad. Like, Big Shaq, shout out to him, whatever. That's my cousin, and somebody that I make music with a lot. We like blood related, and he would know because we were always in church together, and he pressed us heavy to, you know what I'm saying, to do a lot of singing and ever in church. We were totally against it, but we did it because we rocked with her stuff, and you know what I'm saying, she got us into it, whatever. I never did no solos, nothing like that. I wasn't strong enough vocally. I didn't really get heavy into singing until my son passed. What was that, 2016? That's when I just stopped caring what people thought about it. I wasn't singing. And other than in church, you know what I'm saying? Like, I knew I could manipulate my vocals a little bit, but I was never going to put it on a track. Like, never. I never even thought about it. But after that happened, I just stopped caring what people thought. I said, I'm going to make music that I want to make. And I did exactly that. And then I started trying to do that and do it better than the next person. I wanted my music to stand out or whatever, and weight. So that's how we got. Yeah, shout out to my aunt, because she definitely pushed us in church, man. Like,
and you said that you had
like, I ain't gonna lie, I caused a lot of issues. Like, yeah,
what do you mean? What you mean? You say you caused a lot of issues. Like,
I caused a lot of issues. What you mean by that? She was the choir director, so it's not like she just pushed it to sing. She was the director at the church, and so she's trying to do her thing. You know what I'm saying? And me not to be there because I'm young. You know what I'm saying? I'm not thinking about, you know, what all. It's, to me, it's like, all right, man, we going up here to go sing or not. Like, we not getting paid for this. Like, I got things to do. I don't, but I'm in my head, I got things to do. As a kid, I got things to do.
Yep.
So it was one of them, you know, I'm bored or whatever. It's been a couple times, whatever. I'm like, I'm not even about to sing. So I got everybody around me singing. I'm just mouthing the words. And a couple times she, you know, oh, we need a couple of people to do this, and you've got an amazing voice. And I'm just like, no, I don't. I just want to go home. You know what I'm saying? I caused this.
Right.
I apologize to her for that.
Yeah. And thank God that you know, kept pursuing singing, because you can sing very, very well. And I heard your voice, and I'm just like, bro, you have a really nice voice.
Thank you. A lot of people that I can do it without auto-tune. I don't think they listen to enough of the music, because I got songs without auto-tune. But
I know you definitely have songs without auto-tune, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
Can you tell me about one of your most recent singles, "Want More Love"?
Oh, that was a bit after rocking with my ex, whatever they were. I can't even call her my ex there. She was someone that was around, I say. Whatever. She was a Jamaican gal, whatever. We vibed a bit, whatever. It was one of those, all right, well, being around her and around that vibe all the time, whatever, we would sit, we would shoot the shit. She would come to the studio with me a lot. And we were sitting and talking. She was like, you know, can you make this? Can you make that? I'm like, I can do anything. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't something that I hadn't done before. It's just the other songs in that style hadn't been pushed as heavy. So we got into the studio, got working on a concept. We ended things, whatever, and I just kept going with the song, whatever, and then I kind of made it. I kind of swirled it around a bit, whatever, to where she would know when I was talking to her more so, whatever, like within the song. So the original actual lyrics, whatever, like, it was going a totally different direction, but I ended up scrapping it, and now it's about her. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I knew it was about somebody, because it seemed personal, But a song that seemed personal to me was Deja Vu.
Oh yeah.
Was that song about her too, or like who? Like what went on with that song?
It was about somebody more recent. They kind of gave me vibes of someone that I was connected to, and it wasn't her, because with her it was a thing where I really cared about her and so forth there, but it was another gal, whatever. Like she really, I can't say had my heart, but she had a little special place around it, at least, whatever. And with Deja Vu, whatever, it was one of those. She reminded me of someone else so much that it almost disgusted me. So when it came time to write a song, whatever, I got a beat from a solid producer. We chopped it up a bit, whatever, as far as getting everything done on the legal side. And then once I knew that it was gonna clear, I went ahead and went in and I knocked the song down, and I want to say probably about 4 hours, but I think we spent like a week mixing it. Like,
okay.
Certain sound, and like my voice squeaks on a specific part intentionally, and I wanted to make sure that it sounded intentional versus sounding like just bad equipment. So
right, no, I feel you, bro.
But
and yeah, that song was, when I was listening back to it, I'm like, it must really be personal. Somebody must have cut you deep, because I could hear the pain in your voice, and I could hear the pain in the lyrics, and I'm like, somebody must have really, really cut you deep in that song. So, you put a lot of your emotions in all of your songs, pretty much, like almost. And it's like your song's like an autobiography.
Yeah, and it's always difficult, like for me dating, because people are always, well, I don't understand what you're feeling. You're so closed off, and it's like I'm really not. I just been through the music. If a person really sits and they listening to the songs, whatever, you'll know what I was going through. Now, it is true that sometimes, like, I can make a song about a chick that I dated 4 years ago today. But mind you, 4 years ago, I wasn't this good, so I couldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I can make it, whatever, and go back into that moment. But it's just like an actor does. When they're into that role, whatever, they have to remember, you know what I'm saying? Okay, this is who I am. If we're on Pirates of the Caribbean and I'm a pirate, I'm a full-fledged pirate. There is no life outside of this. I got to focus with it. When I'm doing a song, it's the same way. If you don't hurt me, whatever, and I'm feeling hurt about it, whatever, I'm going to feel hurt about it again, just like I did when it happened, whatever. And then I'm going to go in and I'm going to let loose on that song. If it's the same in reverse, it's going to be the exact same thing. When I'm talking to my kids, whatever, regardless of what it is, like, I make sure that my heart is into it. If my heart ain't into a song, whatever, I'm not going to release it. I got thousands of songs sitting right now, but if my heart ain't into it, something is going to get deleted, something is going to get rewritten or something, and they're like, I'm not about to put it out there, because if I'm not feeling it and I wrote it, I know the specifics, I know the details, how can I expect somebody else to feel it? You know what I'm saying? So,
okay.
Yeah.
So do you consider yourself like a perfectionist?
Yeah, but no.
Okay.
And I say yeah, but no, because I'm really critical on certain things, and my team will tell me like, nah, bro, it's good. But I'm like, nah, something ain't quite right. And then I got my times when something might be real heavy on my heart, and I'm like, no, I'm not gonna wait for this. Right. Like, I've been holding a song called Erica, and it's been sitting for a couple years now. And I mentioned that song specifically because I see the person I'm talking about whatever on this live, but I have wrote a song called Erica, and it's been sitting for quite some time, and I won't release it because it's just not the way I want it. But everybody else thinks that it sounds amazing. But I'm like, nah, it's something that's missing. I don't know what it is. And so until I get it just right, I'm not gonna release it. But if I go into one of the days to where it's I'm dealing with a lot of emotions, it might be one of those days where I just pick up and I'm like, all right, I'm going through every song, whatever that's in this specific folder, and I'm gonna finish them all. I'm releasing it. It's a project. It's out of here. You know what I'm saying? But that song is sitting to the side, so I can't release it.
Okay. So, out of curiosity, I just want to know at this point, how many albums or mixtapes do you think you are sitting on right now that's not even out there?
Oh, that's not out? I'm sitting on...
Can you count?
No, I know how many, but when I say it, it's not going to sound real. I'm sitting on 43 projects that are unreleased. 10 tracks or more. I don't do anything less than 10.
43?
Yeah, 43. And songs total is 4,000 something. I can't remember the number anymore, to be honest. It's close to 5,000 songs that are sitting. Like I didn't, in the past 48 hours, I done ran through like another 9, 10 songs. Like, because I write verses in about 5-10 minutes. It don't take me no longer than that, because it's whatever emotion is in my head and on my heart at that time. So I'll go through 20 beats, knock down hooks for those, whatever, and that'll be 4 or 5 hours. That's nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just a regular day. I was just kicking it. Like, that's my normal.
Wow, so you don't sleep like ever, do you?
Personal life. I be trying to, like, I don't have much of a personal life. Like, I don't really have friends. I don't do all of that or whatever. It's been weird for me, like, dating, because it's like, oh man, this is fucking awesome. Like, I didn't know what people felt like, you know what I'm saying? And I mean, dating, whatever. Like, I've dated before, but like, being away from the studio has been weird. Like, I'm actually leaving the studio. Usually it's just like, hey, look, you come to the studio when you come through, whatever. You know what I'm going to be doing all day. You can sit there and just look fine, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Critique this with me, and I'm going to work on this. But it's like, it's been different, man. I've been dating and stuff, whatever, and I'm trying to get out the studio more, and, you know what I'm saying, make time for those that I care about. I'm definitely fitting in more time for the kids and stuff, but I'm still getting songs done. Still knocking down like a lot of songs in short time periods. So.
Okay. Yes, that's, you know, like I said, once again, I admire your fucking hustle, man. Like, you know, yes, definitely. And, you know, we're going to get back into the music, but I also want to ask you, because you mentioned your kids a lot. So how many kids do you have?
I got 5.
5 kids. Okay.
5.
So the oldest one, how old is he or she?
My oldest is my daughter. She's 13. I'm not ready for that part. I'm not ready to have a teenager.
Yeah.
It's the best.
Teenagers can be a hot lot to handle.
Yeah. 12-year-old son. I have an 11-year-old son. I have a 2-year-old son, and then I have a 1-year-old daughter, and she's a tyrant as well. So, it's the girls that's the problem. I love them. Like, I love them. I do. I spoil them. But it's the girls that's the problem. Like, yeah, they
Okay. Yeah, girls can be a whole lot to handle. So I commend you for that. So like, Redbed says, Radical says 5-star daddy gang.
Yeah. I say, I love it.
I know he know about that.
It works. It works with me. It gives me, like, you know, extra things, whatever, to talk about, whatever. The days when I feel like giving up, it definitely pushes me to go further, whatever. And my kids, like, they actually rock with me. You know, it's not one of those, they're way across the map and, you know, daddy's doing this and doing that. They're actually about to be at, they've never seen me perform or, like, live. They've never been to an event, because usually it's events, you know, 21 and older, 18 and older, so forth.
Right.
So,
okay.
This coming Saturday, I'm performing in Pontiac, Michigan. And so it's like a basketball tournament or something going on, whatever. Well, I know it's a basketball tournament, but I heard there's other things going on there as well. So they're going to get to see me, like, in person for the first time. And they're all so excited about it. So we're going to go load up the car, and we're going to go take off, and we're going to go up there. And I think that's going to be lit, because they've seen me, like, on live and, you know, stuff. But that's cool, but it's their first time getting to see me in person or whatever. And they rock with me tough. They listen to the music. They'll tell me if they like something, if they don't like it. They're bigger on music than I am, to be honest. Like, trying to come down here in a heartbeat.
Wow.
Like, nah, you shouldn't have done that. Like, or why don't you do this on that part? And I'm like, my voice don't get as high as yours, you know? So,
right. Well, your kids are already criticizing that stuff. Like, they already, like, you know, trying to tell you what to do in the studio and trying to, you know, play engineer and trying to play producer with you.
Yeah, they'd be quick to, oh yeah, that one song or whatever with you and so y'all need to drop that and put it on a playlist or whatever. Like, everybody needs to hear that. Like, when the second album dropped, whatever, the song that had my son on it is a song called Nothing Personal. And it was just about me being in the studio all the time, pretty much talking about I don't really have too much time to date and do this, that, and the third, whatever. Like, it's nothing personal. It's just I'm dedicated to work. And so my son is on the hook and he's on the third verse. When that song dropped, he had put the album more than I had put into promotion on the project, whatever. The song with me and him, whatever, was the number 1 off the album, whatever. And like, it overtook my single, whatever, within, like, I said, a week, whatever, just because people wanted to hear him. And then, like, when I say he got to school, he listen to this. Like, he got everybody going. Teachers like, oh my God, we love your voice, sir. We want you to be at the talent show and so forth. I'm like, man, they be working. These kids, they work, man. He was all on TikTok. He done got them all on there and everything. So And then he does a lot of my lyric videos for songs as well. Like my son out here, yeah, I rock with this, and I'm gonna go ahead and do the video, and he'll just go do it. Next thing I know, it's online. I got a notification. I'm like, oh, that's lit. You know what I'm saying?
That's great. That's great.
Yeah.
That hustle mentality is hereditary, and it's obviously passed down to your son. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then my 11-year-old, he's getting into production. He's getting pretty nice though. Like, yeah.
Okay, that's what's up. And plus, you got a home studio that they can use anytime that they want to, so that they can hone their skills.
Here's the home studio basement. Yes. That's the vocal booth and everything over there. So yeah, most of the songs that I made, hell, all of my mates from 2019, they've been done here. We got a nice little size vocal booth. I got a guitar in there. We running 3 screens here. A nice little setup. We running 6 monitors right now. So that's why everybody always like, they don't really know like necessarily how the studio is set up and stuff. And I every now and then on live I show them, but yeah, it's comics all around, whatever. Because I'm a nerd at heart, so you know,
right. I feel you, bro. Radical says I need the link, King, for real. Okay. He'll shoot it to you after the live, bro. He'll definitely shoot it to you. Another thing I want to touch on that really impressed me is that you released a project with 60 songs total. What was going through your mind when you released a 60-song project, bro?
When I did the first album, it was 30 songs, and I did it because nobody in history has ever dropped a double for their debut. So I didn't want to just drop a double and make sure that they had a lot of songs. So for my second, everybody thought I was just adding 30 more songs. It wasn't that. I wanted to do twice as many. Usually every 2 years I drop an album. So this year, a lot of my friends have been coming to me like, so are you going to do 90 songs? You're going to do 120? What are you thinking? And I'm like, I'm not dropping this year. And it's disappointed so many people. But honestly, it was one of those things to where everybody said that I couldn't do it and it wasn't going to make sense. And I'm like, watch. If somebody tells me I can't do something, I'm going to just let them know, you know what I'm saying? Then they're like, okay, well, you can't do it. This person couldn't do it. That person couldn't do it. That's fine for them. You know what I'm saying? That works for them or it didn't work for them, whatever. But I'm kind of my own person. Me and my manager bump heads a lot because I love her to death. And, you know, she got the same love for me. And she guides me on certain things, whatever. But a lot of times I have to push the envelope. I have to let her know, like, oh, yeah. Okay, well, she'll, you know, 60 songs, that's too many. And I'm like, you're right. And I'll be like, what? Is it really? Nah, because if I like it, when Chris had 34 songs on it, nobody said a word because it was Chris Brown. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I'm like, he can do it, whatever, why the hell can't I? But I felt like I deserved exactly that same love. And those people that really rock with me, they went and they listened to the project. They told me what they thought about it at home. My manager even came back to me after because she knew I was going to drop 60. She knew it because it was taking too long to finish the project. And when I finally got it done, I did it. I sent it over to her. It took her about a week to get through all the songs, of course. And when she finished it, yeah, but she's like, you found a way to do it. Like, I'm impressed. She's like, because I thought it would be sloppy. Like, I thought it wouldn't make sense. I'm like, no, anytime I do a project, I would break it down and I want it to ride a certain way. Like, it may come in real hard or whatever, and then after a while, it's going to mellow out a bit, and then it's going to take you back up or whatever. Like, as you're going through your emotions and whatnot, and you're going through your thoughts, I want you to be able to ride different grooves. So, I definitely, I try to find a way to make it work, but that was more so a thing of so many people told me that I couldn't, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm going to do it in a way.
Okay. Definitely, bro. Definitely. Very impressive, you know, body of work, by the way. And it's a lot of work. It's a lot of songs out there for anybody that want to listen to his music. Like, there's a lot to choose from on YouTube and on Spotify. So many songs to choose from. So many, you know what I mean, projects that you put out. A 60-song project and a 30-song project. That's 90 freaking songs in just 2 projects that you guys could listen to right now.
Within 2 years of each other, I dropped. That was the 90, whatever. That was for those. And then I got 3 Nightfall projects out. Those are 10 tracks each, except for the first one. It's 11. And then I got like 16 other projects out.
Okay. Lovely little Leo says, are you on SoundCloud?
I was on SoundCloud. I took my music down because they started ripping my music from there. And first off, fans were ripping the music, but that part was cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's okay. Somebody liked the music enough to rip it, but themselves, like, they were taking songs down on tracks that I had produced myself, and they're like, oh no, we're taking it down, and it's going against this and it's going against that. And once they take it down from SoundCloud, I can't even get access to that song. So over the years, I done had computers
Wow.
crash. That go wrong. YouTube has never done me that way. Apple Music has never done me that way. No other sites have ever done me that way. So I took everything off of SoundCloud. I don't use them. I won't go back to them. Like, period.
Right.
When I
feel you.
I typically go to YouTube to just upload it. If it's something I just want to give away for free, I'll put it on YouTube. I'm about to go with Audio Mac as well. And that's just on the free side, whatever. But everything else, it goes on Spotify, it goes on Apple Music, iTunes, which I think is still a thing.
Right.
Yeah, all the major platforms that are like, it really doesn't matter what country you're in. It's like, they were like, oh yeah, we got like 40, 50, 60 countries or something like that. I don't remember the exact number, but it's everywhere. And I try to do that because no matter what platform a person is using, I want them to be able to have something different. But
okay,
I do plan on dropping certain platform exclusives coming up real soon.
Wow. Okay. Definitely. I'm gonna look out for that, bro. I'm gonna definitely look out for that. So you was also on Nap Radio and you was the artist of the week. So how did you get on Nap Radio?
That was all my manager right there. I rock with them real tough in Nap. So
okay.
I lived there. That was one of the places I used to live at, whatever, briefly.
Oh wow.
I lived there.
Okay.
Lived in Georgia. I rock with a lot of different people a lot. My manager kind of put that together. She's from there. She does a lot of good leg work, whatever. And they rock with the music tough. I rock with their artists tough. I rock with the people in that radio. And she put it together. She's been making a lot of things happen. I'm very appreciative of her. Even though we butt heads a lot on how I
it happens, bro.
Yeah.
It happens. It definitely happens. So, especially like you said that you're a perfectionist, so I could definitely see that clashing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I could definitely see that.
It's that, and then there's a lot of times too. Like I might get ready to drop a song, she won't like the content. It'll be the song is great. She'll be like, "Oh no, the song is cool." Like, but why would you say this? And I'm like, why not? Like, it's me. You know what I'm saying? It might be something real.
Right.
It's how I feel. And sometimes she be like, "Man, that's stuff," and I'm like, I gotta put it out there. Like, you know, I don't want to be one of those artists that talk about these types of things that they really don't have those things going on. Like everybody that knows me know that if I'm talking about it in music, I've done it and I'm doing it. Like, so.
Right. Exactly. So like also I want to talk about 937 magazine. How did that get established?
That was a venture that I started with my ex when I lived in Georgia. It was 937 from Valdosta, Georgia to my hometown, Cleveland. And so when I moved there, we sat, we talked for a bit. I wanted to be able to like have a platform to promote other artists. At the time, I was still just producing. So I wanted to be able to, you know, promote artists, ever show them love, show them appreciation, this, that, and the third, help them get a big push. So we created that together somewhat. And then when we split, she wanted to let go of it, you know what I'm saying, cut ties as far as how everything was going with that, which was perfect because I called my manager. I told her what I was going on. She's like, okay, that's what you're worrying about? Don't worry about that. I'm going to handle that. I'm going to take care of that for you. I'm like, okay, bet. She took care of that. That's perfect.
Okay. I feel that definitely, bro. So like you have a lot of projects. Like one project I want to mention is Nightfall 1 through 3. So like, you know, you said you did you put that together in 20, like how long did it take you to put Nightfall together?
Every one of them was 24 hours. The first one I did, I was living in Cleveland. It was me and my team. It was me, Angie B, Jack, I think, and R Prophet, and RG. Yeah, so it was us 5 sitting, 24 hours, knocked that down. Had a couple people come throughout the day to do their sessions. Between them doing their sessions, I might get a feature real quick. And went from there. Anytime I'm doing a project, like if I want to put 10 tracks on it, we're going to do 20 songs. So there's a lot of songs that didn't really make it. Then we did Nightfall 2. I had moved here to Pittsburgh. I was very depressed and alone. Linked up with Lotus. We got together in 24 hours. We turned out Nightfall 2. Nightfall 3 was a couple of months ago, I think. A couple months ago. I was
it was
sick.
Recent.
Yeah, it was. Nightfall 3 was it was the same type of energy as when I started Nightfall 2, because a lot of the people that they're not exactly around anymore. And so, yeah, whatever. So I just went ahead and I released Nightfall 3 or whatever. It was one of those, all right, well, people are going, you know what I'm saying? They're going to get what I'm giving them. And anytime I give a person a Nightfall project, they typically know that an album is coming soon after. Because that's always the project where I go ahead and I put a bunch of shit together whatever in 24 hours to see if I still got it. Once I know I still got it, I'm in album mode. So I am in album mode. I am working on an album. I don't know if I should give the title for it yet, but I'm not releasing it this year. That I won't do.
Wow. So like I can't wait to hear it already. Like you already got all this, great music out there for everybody to listen to, and you about to put out another project. Is that one gonna be 30 songs too, or you don't even know?
Honestly, I couldn't tell you. I do know that it'll probably be roughly at least 100 songs that me and the team will go through to decide what we want to put on there. And for this one, I may not like put a cap on the project itself. I may go ahead and and just, once we go through the songs, just decide, okay, well, look, we got 50 songs on there. That's what's going to go on there. It might be 20 songs on there. This is what's going to go on there. I don't really know how many it'll be, but I do know that whatever I do as far as the project, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to put my best foot forward. It's going to still be something that's very much worth the effort. It's going to be a big thank you for my fans there, because I definitely didn't expect it to make it past one project at all. And then I'm going to give them about a year later, because having them wait for her project, that's kind of, if you rock with an artist, that's a long time. So
yes.
Within that year, I might give them, that deluxe, because I know it's going to be some songs that are going to get left off the original that, more time into. But before this one drops, we're going to have music videos for all of the singles. Usually I'm in too much of a rush working on the next thing to actually get the video shot. But we literally just focusing on videos the last few weeks. We're shooting a video for a song called Nothing with myself and Big Shaq on it out of Cleveland. We got 2 more scenes to shoot for that in Cleveland, Ohio, and I don't remember the other location. But once we get that done, that video will be releasing. So I'm thinking within the next month at least.
Okay. I'm gonna definitely look out for it. And you say you're gonna put out a lot more visuals, and I definitely look forward to that too. Because a lot of the songs on there, like I really think that could make some really hot visuals. Especially, are you ever gonna put a visual to "Want to Love"?
On which one now?
Are you gonna put a visual on? I think it's "Want to Love" or something like that, or "How to Love." I'm sorry, I'm getting the titles mixed up. I'm sorry.
You talking about "One More Love"?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're
my
definitely.
brain's a little fuzzy. Excuse me.
See, with me having so many songs, I honestly was sitting there and I'm like, wait, which song is he talking about? Because I can't always remember. But yeah, we're definitely gonna do a video for it. I'm actually looking for models for it right now. I want to go and get that video shot either in Cleveland or possibly I might go to Miami for it, because the song is a hot song and Miami is a hot place. So I might take a bus down there, whatever, and by a bus I mean a party bus, not a school bus or a Greyhound. And go ahead and lay it down and whatever. So I'm definitely looking for some solid models that are for that video. There's one in particular that I'll be working with out of Indianapolis, so I'm hoping that works. Just have to see how it goes. Yes.
Okay, definitely. Brandy Callie says, all right, 216.
Oh yeah, 216. That's great code. Oh yeah, all day. Yes,
okay, definitely, bro. So like, another thing that I do want to talk about is your production company, King Jayden Productions, that you established way back in the early 2000s. So tell me about that.
It started off as me just making a couple of beats here and there to pay for fashion design school. And then I realized that I was making way more money than fashion design school was going to pay me. So I set the fashion design aside or whatever, because the artist in Pittsburgh is expensive. Like, we were talking like close to $80,000, like something right over the top of that. I'm like, that's a lot of money. And I'm like, and it was most of it was tax free at the time. Like we talking about MySpace days. They were like Facebook was just getting started. I was on MySpace getting to it.
Right.
I fumbled a couple of plays on that one though, because it was a couple of features that I should have got, but I didn't get them. But anyway, I started off like with the produce whatever, and push the brand. I brought in other producers. Some left, some I didn't want to keep. They weren't as productive as they should have been. Kept running with the team. We were doing like online sales for a while, but the catalog was huge because like you gotta think if I'm doing all of these songs whatever, and I'm sitting on 4,200 songs, whatever, I've twice as many beats. You know what I'm saying? We were knocking down hella beats every day, and so for me it was okay, we got all of these beats. We can't keep putting them on the website because people are buying them every other day. We're having to go. I'm doing more web design than anything else. So it was just like, all right, I'm done with it. Nowadays, everybody makes beats. They put them on YouTube anyway. So we really only do customs. And by custom, we really only doing, when we submitting beats, whatever, which we're not really actively submitting. More so, people are coming to me at every day. Oh, I like the production on such and such. Can you make me something like that? Oh yeah, we got you. We're going to put it together. Other than that, I mean, the company is still there. Don't get me wrong. We're still producing, still going strong. I done made like 4 beats today. But it's just that we're not on the forefront. Like, I'm letting a lot of these younger producers have that game. I'm more into producing for Superstar K, producing for Big Shaq, Superstar J, couple of other people, you know what I'm saying, that have been coming to me. I do a lot of in-house production now on it. And my team, whatever, stronger than ever. Still love them to death, whatever. Shout out to them. Yes, we're still whatever. It's just we're not really selling beats. We're more so doing submission, if you will.
Okay, makes sense, definitely. And another thing I want to bring up, I'm just curious. What was one of the first songs that you yourself recorded as an artist, and how did you feel about it?
That's a trick question, only because I first recorded in like 2004. It was garbage, and I don't just mean I mean garbage quality, the content. I don't even remember what I was talking about, but that was 2004.
Right. Right.
As far as songs that I've made since I've been in Superstar K mode, the first song that I did was a song called Hood Heroes. I recorded it in Indianapolis. I was living there at the time. I had my little home studio. The quality was still ass, but it was a lot better than 2004 because it was like 2015 when this happened. So it definitely worked a lot better. You could understand what everything was. You could tell that I was trying to do something, but I didn't really know how to quite get it all the way. I hadn't mastered how to do it. So it was a solid song. Like me being a nerd or whatever, it was a solid song. But since I was not an artist, it was boring as hell. That's the best way I can put it.
Okay.
The song itself was boring as hell because it was monotone as hell. Like there was no flavor to it. So I got this beat, which is amazing. Made it myself. But vocally, I was just boring as hell. And I didn't really know how to box at that time. So I was so stuck on that song that even when I recorded it in 2015 and then I'm re-recording it in 2016, I'm expecting the engineer to go add the flavor because I don't know what I'm doing. And so after recording that and then knocking out other songs and I'm watching other people record, I'm like, oh, that's all that was wrong with it. Okay, because lyrically it was sound. But it was just like, oh, shit, okay. So I realized my mistake. Hood Heroes, that was it. That kind of saved my ass on that one because he carried the song. I mean, I did the hook in the first verse, but he carried the song because he was a much better established artist at that time. And that's enough. That's him.
Okay. That's very, very interesting that, you say you recorded way back in 2004, but, you hated the song, you hated the way it came out, but then you recorded in 2015 and it was a lot better. But what do you mean, like, you say boring? Like, you say it was just like, was you rapping on it? Like, rapping on monotone or something?
Yeah, it's like a lot of the new music now. Like, people, they get on the track and they expect the auto-tune to save me. I got on that track and I expected the auto-tune to save me. I can be honest about it, you know what I'm saying? Because this was over 5 years ago. I got on the track and I'm like, okay, boom. I thought that I just had to lay my record and that the engineer adds all of the sparkle and all of that, which in most...
effects.
But that's not how it should be. I wasn't an artist at that time. I was in the beginning stages of being a rapper. And that was something I never wanted to do. I never thought I would do. But mind you, the song was never meant to see the light of day. I felt that if I pushed enough music, you know what I'm saying, if I made enough songs that ever and showed the family who I was backing at the time, and, you know, we were all backing each other. It's not like I was holding it down. But if I felt that if I showed them the songs, they would, you know what I'm saying, be like, okay, he's in the studio. So if he's in the studio, we definitely got to go get in the studio, and it will motivate him.
Right.
For some, for others, not so much. And that's where things got bad, because, I mean, after those first few songs, whatever, with some of those people, they really got motivated. Some people took a little kick in the ass and they got motivated. For some of them, we don't even speak nowadays, whatever. And part of it may be because of the fact that, okay, well, he think he's somebody because he done this and he done that. But I only got into it for those people, so I don't know. I couldn't tell you on that, but.
Okay, definitely, bro. So another question I do want to ask is, like, what's one of the biggest lessons you've learned from being an independent artist, and from, you know, producing your own beats, and from, you know, rapping and singing on your own beats and all this other stuff? So, like, what's one of the biggest lessons you learned?
Biggest lesson I learned was from an engineer out of Cleveland, Ohio. I always call him my favorite white guy, Pappy Kid.
Okay.
Whatever. It was my biggest lesson. I was running the studio, or I would call it that. My mixes were still born, and he came to me, and he told me what was wrong with it. Like, mind you, this is the first time I'm meeting this dude. So he's coming to me. He's like, I've heard of you, and everybody's talking to me about him. Like, he's this, you know what I'm saying, bigger guy, because he's more well known than I am at the time. So he comes to me. He's like, I've heard. The songs are cool, but your mixes are ass. You know what I'm saying? He's like, you mix everything the same. He was like, you got to stop doing that. Every song is dynamic. Every track is supposed to be dynamic. Every person that comes in, they're supposed to be dynamic. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's like, don't worry about how this sounds, whatever, you know, on the radio or whatever. He's like, you got to follow you, do you. That was the biggest piece of advice he gave. I mean, anybody could have given me, really. Because when he left, I was pissed at him. I'm like, who the fuck do you think he's talking to? I'm in my head, though. Because out loud, I'm sitting there like, damn, is he right? He was 100% right. He was 100% right.
Right.
I'm the same with her. That was the best advice anybody could have given me, because after sitting and talking to him, I'm doing homework. I'm watching videos of people making stuff and doing this and doing that. Every song that I would hear after that, I'm like, they layered that 4 times. T-Pain layered that 6 times. All right, I'm about to do that. I'm about to do this. I'm about to do that. And I went into the studio, whatever, man. I done turned up since then.
Okay. Yeah. So you said that, you know, he said your mixes was ass at first. Like, did you really was your feelings hurt by that?
Came into the studio, he's like, what's going on? He dapped me up. And I'm like, yeah, I'm like working on some music. He like, I know, man. He's like, I wish I had a little more time. I would help out. He was like, I've heard your music. The songs are cool, but the mixes, man, they're not very good. They're ass. And I was just looking at him like, because nobody had ever said that to my face. You know what I'm saying? So,
right.
Therefore, we still cool to this day, man. He came out a couple weeks ago. We made some songs together. Yeah, I appreciated that. Like, that's the kind of people that you need in your corner. And like, for real, you need people that's gonna tell you when you messing up, as well as tell you when you're doing good. That helps.
Definitely. So, like, how do you handle criticism, good or bad? Like, when a person tells you need to work on this, or when a person is just outright like, you suck. Like, how do you handle stuff like that?
Well, I don't really get too much bad criticism. When people do tell me, like, and I think it's because I have like such a wide array of songs. It's not too many styles that, you know, if a person's like, oh, I don't listen to trap music. You know what I'm saying? Okay, I got stuff that's not trap. Oh, I don't listen to all that singy, songy stuff, whatever. Okay, well, I got some hard. You know what I'm saying? I got so many styles of music. It's not that it's like 400 songs out. It's the fact that it's 400 songs out. There's so many different styles and all that. But
oh yeah, it is.
They don't really say too much bad to me or whatever. Every night an engineer comes to, you know, you need to tighten this up, tighten that up. Or my brothers, they come to me and that's cool, but this one is real good. That's how I can tell, you know what I'm saying, that they feeling that all right, whatever, but that one they really rock with. But when people do come to me and they, you know, the music sucks, I used to get pissed at ever, and it used to turn into the whole Facebook grudge match, and I gotta, you know what I'm saying, you have a pissing contest. But nowadays, when somebody tells me that my music sucks, the first thing I ask them is, I'm like, okay, well, what didn't you like about it? And then to me, it like this, whatever, or And the thing that I did hear when people were saying, you know, oh, I don't like the music. Well, why don't you like it? It sounds too much like Chris Brown or somebody. I can't help how my damn voice sounds. Like,
Chris Brown, that should be a good comparison though. Like I would take that shit as a compliment.
a lot of people don't like if you sound like another artist. They don't really like it. It's like Designer. He didn't really tell you sound just like Future. He didn't really stand too much of a chance. It's different songs, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, because of the tone and the voice and things like that, people felt like that he was almost modeled after him. I even felt like that when I first heard it. But yeah, with a lot of people, they be like, oh, it sounds too much like so-and-so. It sounds too much like this part. I remember hearing it. I sounded like Chris Brown. I sound like T-Pain. Sound like R. Kelly. All these different people, whatever. My thing is that I sound like K to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I go in the studio or whatever, and I'm just like, okay, this is what I'm going to make. I'm listening to the beat, and I'm like, okay, it's got these notes in it. My voice will fit good right here. And then I'm going to change it up right here because the beat is going to do that. That's all I focus on. I don't sit and think about what other artists got going at that time or who's doing this or who's doing what. It's like, for me, that's never something that I really think about. I just make my songs. I don't even listen to other people's stuff when I'm in album mode. I won't listen to nothing new. I'm still listening to Chamillionaire and Pimp C, UGK, like all that old stuff, whatever. I'm not really listening. I don't want none of that to influence me, like, at all.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Definitely. So, like, growing up, did you have any influences growing up?
Oh, yeah. My older brother, my older cousin, Tupac, Chamillionaire. I'm still listening to Phil Collins. Phil
Collins, okay.
Tank, Chris Brown, T-Pain. Like, T-Pain made me want to do hooks. And I wanted to be the best.
Wow. Yeah, T-Pain is the hook king, so I definitely see why. You know what I mean? That's a great inspiration. That's a great person to look up to because, you know, T-Pain could do a lot of things too. Also, if anybody that's watching it live, we will be getting out of here soon. But if you guys want any questions that you want to ask me or Superstar K, please hit the question button and we'll be, you know, happy to answer whatever you guys want to ask. But I want to get back to you when it comes down to your music. So I want to ask a pretty deep question because I ask all of my interviews this question, but I want to hear your answer specifically. So, and I'm going to keep asking this question because it's a pretty deep question. So for you, why are you here? Like, what do you think your mission here is?
I think my mission, whatever, is to, on the back end, I feel like whatever is to show people or whatever that they're not alone in a lot of the things that they're feeling. I'll rap about whatever, I sing about certain things whatever that most males won't do. Everybody's so busy being pressed on being hard and so tough and so forth that I'm showing people that whatever is on your head, it's okay to get it out. You can get it out there and make it sound damn good. Like, I feel as if it is my purpose to be here, to be able to show people whatever they can be them. They can be them. Anytime
I love that answer.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. I love that answer, man. Definitely. So, like, you know, how do you, you know, because you say you get a lot of good criticism, if I'm correct. So, like, how do you stay humble and how do you, you know, not get caught up in the hype or, you know, let that, you know, that confidence turn to cockiness? Like, how do you, like, stay humble throughout all that?
I'm semi-cocky, and I can admit that. The reason I say that is because I do that with my friends, whatever, especially, like my friends, whatever, the people that I make music with, whatever, I say. I get cocky on them because I'm always trying to get their best them. So I do go ahead and be like, all right, you know, we working on a song, whatever. I'm like, one of y'all gonna have to, you know what I'm saying, have the second or third best verse because I'm gonna have the first. You know what I'm saying? Or I'll be like, yo, it's gonna be better. You know what I'm saying? Like, I come in the room and shit, whatever, and that's how we build each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're really, like, I'm competitive with my team. We're all competitive with each other. The goal is to, you know what I'm saying, for us, whatever, we talk like it's to make sure that if we're on a song together, nobody has ever heard of the other person. But in actuality, it's to make sure that I'm giving 100% and you're going to give 100% every time we're on the track as well. But I'm able to stay humble simply because I know where I come from. I know what all I've been through. The people that are around me know that this is my actual life. It's not me bragging about this or bragging about that, whatever. It's literally like, this is just how I live. I kind of do what I want. But I deal with a lot of hurt. I'm still working on myself. I'm damage those around me or whatever. I'm trying to show love to everybody possible. because I feel like it's important or whatever. I feel like it's not enough spread. So I just be me for real. Like I don't really get into the hype of everybody's, oh well, this person thinks they're better and so forth, whatever. We get competitive here time to time, whatever. But in actuality, like I just love to see people win. I don't care if their win looks different than mine. If theirs comes during the day, mine comes at night. I don't care. Whatever, as long as everybody is eating, as long as everybody is winning, as long as people are happy, whatever, I'm good. I'm comfortable where I am now. Like I don't have to be on the billboard, whatever. I have a pretty solid fan base and I'm loving it. Of course I want it to grow. Of course, you know what I'm saying, this, you could get this slot, whatever, you're gonna be up here, you just gotta do this, do that. Yeah, I work towards it, but
right.
I am because I'm a lot farther than most that I know. There's no reason to, let it get to my head, really.
Okay, definitely, bro. And I'm really loving your answers. You're pretty stand-up dude. Radical says, I love this dude from one father of five to another. Thanks, Radical. He appreciates it. Yeah. Radical's another, really good dude, another really good rapper that I know personally. And also, before we get out of here, like I said, I only have a couple more questions to ask you. You've been a great interviewer, man. Really great interviewer. Yes, definitely. So you mentioned siblings. So like, how many siblings do you have?
A lot. I can't give a number. I don't know. Like I just met a couple of them like last year. My dad was, he went hard. Love him to death. That's one of my closest. I couldn't give you an actual number, like off mom, whatever. I got 4, but I count all my siblings. I don't see nobody as like step this or step that. So I got some I just find out are younger than me. I got some I find out are younger than my kids, like they're my older kids. So it's like I couldn't give you an actual number. I don't want to lie to you, like at all. But I know it's a gang of us, and with some of them, whatever, like I rock with them real tough. There's other ones that are, we keep our distance, but we speak here and there.
Okay.
Yeah, my family is huge, like just on the sibling side, and then I got a lot of cousins that I see like brothers as well. So we all grew up together in the same households and stuff. So yeah.
Wow, so a huge family. So how many siblings did you grow up with in your house?
3 siblings that I grew up with, like from mom and dad, but with so many of the cousins, like, and us all living together, like at a granny house, it became a thing to where it's like we were like siblings. You know what I'm saying? It's not we're blood cousins, whatever, but it's like we siblings as well, whatever. So from mom and them, whatever, just 3. Whatever. I got an older brother. Me and him do music together. I got a younger sister. She's a year younger than me. We do music together. And I got a brother that's younger than her by a year, and he doesn't really do music. He can sing and stuff, whatever, but he doesn't really do music. But they work here, they were like in the studio. We put things together. My brother was just here like 2 days ago. This will be here in a couple weeks.
Okay. Wow. You have a huge family. I also have a huge family. I'm actually the 9th out of 10 kids from my mom's side.
Oh man, yeah. I love so many different persons. Like I salute the parents though. I don't see how they do it. I got 5 of them, and some days I'll be like, I don't even be feeling like I'm fit enough to be an adult of myself, let alone to be a parent to, somebody else or whatever. And it's like they coming to me for advice and stuff. Like I got teenagers, they coming to me asking me about all kind of, things that I don't want to ask to. And I'm like, I'm not responsible for this job. Like I don't feel like it.
Right.
I do my best.
Definitely, bro. Definitely. So, like, I also want to ask you, because I'm just really curious, what's your favorite project? Like, out of all the projects that you dropped, mixtapes, albums, like, what is your personal favorite, if you could pick one?
Nightfall 1.
Nightfall 1? Why?
Because not only was it done in 24 hours, I got a song on there that I had a good friend that out of Cleveland, and he got on the song with me. It's called Relationship Status. He got on it. My cousin was supposed to be on the song. He ended up having to leave early. So the guy comes to the studio. He's doing a session. His ride is about to leave. He's like, no, I'm going to go ahead and fit this verse in for you. He freestyled the entire verse, got through it. I mixed it the best way I could with only having one take. And he takes off whatever. He got murdered sometime year before last. So I got a song on there with him. I did a song for my ex. It was on there. I did Overtime. It was on there. I got a song with my bro RG, whatever, on there. And it was some of his best work that I've heard from him. I got a lot of songs where I just got on there and I honestly didn't write much. I just would sing whatever, you know what I'm saying, was in my heart. Like In the Stars, it wasn't really anything written. It was just, I want to talk about this, you know what I'm saying? And so I put what the subject is, and then I'm in the thing, late at night I lay awake, looking in the stars, and whatever just came into my head type. So that's definitely my favorite project, whatever. It was so, I was going through so much at that time, like, oh man, it was tough.
Wow, wow, bro.
That's my favorite project.
Yes, Radical. I'm number 9, bro. You know now. Because Radical said, I never knew. You know now, bro. But yeah, man, Nightfall was, like I said, I really enjoyed Nightfall myself. So, you know what I mean? Like, Nightfall 1, 2, and 3, like, you know, I did, you know, go back and listen. And like I said, Nightfall 1 was, you know, I agree. Nightfall 1 was definitely a favorite of mine with your projects, too.
Nightfall 2 was definitely like a close second because of the energy I had. Like, energy. None of the same people were in the studio with me or whatever, but Nightfall 1 is still my baby. Like, that's my one. Like, if I got to go in.
Okay. So, like, you know, I will say, like, you know, like I said, Nightfall 1 was, you know, definitely an exceptional project for you. So, I will say, like, do you have a least favorite project or nah? They all you know what I mean? Like, they're all great.
Revenge. I dropped a project. It was about 7, 8 tracks. I want to say 2018. And I dropped the project, whatever, because at the time I had felt so used by so many people around. I dropped this project called Revenge, whatever, and that's literally what it was based on. It was like, all right, I'm coming back for everybody that ever had something for me, whatever. Like, I'm here for it. And it was my least favorite because of the energy. It's not that the songs were necessarily bad or anything like that. It was just the energy. I don't like being in that dark space at all. Whatever. I battled depression for years. It got tougher after 2016. It's been really tough this year. I lost 2 siblings a month apart from each other.
I'm sorry, man.
Yeah, it's I don't like being in that dark place, you know what I'm saying, at all. So for me, that was probably what I felt like was the worst as far as that. But it was the worst for that. But a close second for that would be I Can't Go On. It was 4 tracks, and I dropped it because when I first moved to Pittsburgh, like, I don't have any family here, I don't have any friends here, no nothing. Everybody that I know here, that I've met since I've been here since 2019, and thank you for the hug. But of people that I've met since 2019 when I got here, and I was really depressed. So before anyone, you know what I'm saying, before I met anybody or anything like that, I dropped a project where I just talked about my drug use, and I knew that it was a problem, my depression, things that I had been going through the past couple of years. And I went to go and vent about them on these songs, whatever. And so the first 3 songs, like the first song is what the project was titled, I Can't Go On. And I really got deep with that. I don't think I've ever done a song that was as deep as that. And then I did one about, you know, my drug addiction for a while, whatever. Like, I was out there, you know what I'm saying? And been drug free for what? I stopped in this 2021, so I stopped last year, 2020, New Year. Yeah, I stopped it. I've been drug free since, whatever, and like, it feels great. Like, it really does.
Oh, wow.
Like, it's just different energy. I let a lot of the drugs take hold, whatever. I let a lot of the people that were around me, like, they just used me, you know what I'm saying, like, for what they could, and it was just real dark times and everything. And so I think that was my worst. The songs, like, were great. Like, I still think the songs were great. I listen to them on occasion, you know, but I really, like, yeah, I stay away from those songs. I got to admit.
Well, you're a strong person, man. You're a very strong person for, you know, for admitting to me and telling me that, you know, that you was on a substance and that, you know, you got off of it. You know what I mean?
I believe about it because it's like I went through a lot, whatever, which kind of like led me to, you know, doing all of that. But at the same time, if I got through it, whatever, like the next person can too. I don't have a problem with discussing it with people. I talk about it in music and all that all the time. It's not to glorify it necessarily, whatever. It's more so a thing of letting people know that I've been in a dark place. I've been, you know what I'm saying, I've been messed up just like the next person. Whatever, like sometimes people just need somebody to be there for them, and when they don't have that, that's what they resort to when they feel like they don't have it and all of that. But as far as discussing it, like, yeah, for me, whatever, I pushed forward, you know what I'm saying? I got through it, whatever. And for me to be able to do it, it's like the next one can too. Anybody else that's going through something similar, they were like, they can get through it too. I made it, and I'm still here, still goofy and all that. Just drug-free. Body is a little bit healthy, you know?
Okay, definitely. Radical said, God bless you, King. I'm the oldest on both sides. I couldn't imagine that pain, and I don't want to.
It was
definitely, man.
It came 3 days before my birthday. My sister passed, and so like it was on my dad's birthday. When we got to call it, and it was just like, man. So I had just came back from Cleveland to Pittsburgh, drove right back out when it happened. I was sitting there with Dad. We just sat. We had a few beers, and that was it. And about a month later, man, I'm back home. He called me and said, my brother ain't doing too good. I go back to Cleveland, and same thing happened. I hadn't lost any siblings until this year. And so, like, blood siblings anyway. I lost people that were like brothers to me, like sisters and stuff, but I hadn't lost any, like, any blood siblings or whatever. And that, it affects you differently. Like, it affects you differently. And through it, I still stayed away from the drugs. I drank a little bit, but I think as far as, you know what I'm saying, dealing with, like, any harsh drugs and stuff, whatever, like, I stayed away from it. I haven't let myself get back to that place. And it's a struggle every day dealing with it, but I got 2 more people, whatever, you know what I'm saying. They right upstairs now, whatever, and I got it going put on for them every day. That's just how I see it.
Wow, man. And I admire that because if I would lose any of my siblings, it would really, really affect me. So the fact that you're keeping it going and you're still making music, you're still putting out projects, you know, despite the tragedy that that you're dealing with and that you dealt with is commendable. So thank you. Thank you very much.
Appreciate it, man. Get to love y'all.
Yes, definitely. Thank you for being here. So the last question I do want to ask you is, what do you love the most about being an artist?
Being able to live through my music. I'm pretty closed off. Like, I don't really like people.
Right.
So
okay.
I was on stage. I get nervous talking to people sometimes, whatever, because it's just not me. Like, I prefer, solidarity. But for me, they were like being able to vent through songs. They were like, I feel like not everybody can do it and make it good, and I put my best foot forward with it. Not saying that other people don't, but I put my best foot forward with it and try to make it into something creative. So I can make a song, whatever, and I'm discussing a certain thing. For example, my very first single, Club Lights, everybody heard it and they like, oh, this is a bop. And they like, oh, man, we could turn up to this in the club and so forth. And I just be laughing because I'm like, man, nobody listened to the words. Like, the song is literally talking about how I have no desire to be in a relationship with any woman that wants to be in a club all day. I really want.
That's understandable.
I want somebody.
Very understandable.
It's like, man, you can make a song, whatever, and it's like, sometimes people actually listen to the words and they like, oh man, that's deeper than what I thought. But because it had that club beat on it, people was like, they're over there, they like, oh yeah, club, turn up. And I'm like, no, turn down.
Wow.
To be able to go, into that, and you can, like, the way that you can, play around with different ideas. I've got a couple of songs where people are thinking that I'm just dogging a woman. I'm talking about a car that I had. I've had some really vehicles over the years and everything. And I love my cars. Like, I'm a car enthusiast. I love my cars in there. So it's just like the way that, you can twist words and do this and do that I think it's lovely. Like, I really do. I think it's lovely. That's my favorite part, like, out of the entire thing.
Wow, definitely, man, definitely. I really love what you just said. I really love your answers, man. I really, really do. And especially when you talk about putting, deeper meaning, deeper lyrics on like a club beat. That's genius, bro.
Yeah, that was like the first single I had dropped too, whatever. And so like when everybody's like, "Oh man, that's a hit," like they in the studio because I'm a new artist at the time, so they're like, "Oh yeah, that's a hit, that's blase." And I'm just like, one day I sat back and I'm like, "Are they really listening to the words though?" Like, like I don't know. But so I put little things in songs here and there, and I just sometimes sit back and wait. And my brother, he listens like 4 lyrics, so a lot of times he'll come in and he'll be like, "Oh yeah, I caught that on that one song." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Oh yeah, you said such and such." I'm like, okay,
Wow.
that's somebody. So,
Wow, man. Thank you so much for doing this interview. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for watching. And you guys can catch this interview everywhere: Spotify, Apple Music, anywhere that you can stream podcasts. And it will be available on IGTV tonight if you guys want to watch the visual version whenever you guys want to. So one more thing, please tell people where they can follow you for all the podcast listeners.
All right. You can find me on, and I'm saying this real slow because usually my manager texts me this while I'm doing interviews because I don't remember any of my social media information. But the real Superstar K on Instagram, I'm almost sure that. Snapchat, I give away previews for shows and stuff, whatever like that. I mean, previews of songs and stuff like that. Whatever. That's the real SSK. But most things, whatever, you just type in Superstar K and make sure it's Kay, not the letter K, because when you do the letter K, it comes up to some Asian girl that I don't know who she is. But yeah, the real Superstar K, when you're looking for the music on Spotify, Apple Music, any of that, you can go to Google and just type in Superstar Kay, and it'll put up my beautiful mugshot, whatever, and it'll show you all where it is and where you can find it. And yeah, she's got the page whatever that's a lot more active than my personal Instagram because I'm usually in the studio all day. I don't get to do as much on my personal social media thingamajigs. So she's posting the links right now. Y'all check those out below. I think I'm on the bottom screen on y'all's too because I am on mine. But y'all check those links out. And tune in with me. Y'all can hit me up for whatever, man. I like talking to people, especially new people, hearing new music, doing collaborations, getting inspired about all kinds of things. Whatever people can feel free to hit me up with, whatever they want. I'm always open to it. But I respond slow because I'm always working. So
okay, definitely. Yeah. Yes. So for everybody who's watching it right now, those are his handles. Please go follow him on IG. Please go follow him on Twitter, and please go follow him on Facebook. And for everybody else who's listening, who's not following the podcast, please follow the podcast, El3vation Radio Podcast. For IG, also you can follow me on Facebook. It's the same thing, El3vation, EL3VATION Radio. It's on Facebook too. Facebook, I just established that one a lot sooner, so you won't see a lot of followers because I just put that one up basically. But still follow the page, and like I said, follow the Spotify. Follow me on Spotify. Follow me everywhere, and definitely follow Superstar K because he's extremely talented. And get your fill in because he has a lot of music to tune into. So definitely. Thank you so much for doing this interview. I really appreciate it, man.
Thank you for your time, man. I appreciate you having me. Whatever. Hopefully we can do this.
I'm sorry. Say that one more time.
I said I appreciate you for having me. I said thank you. Whatever. And I said hopefully get to see you again soon, man. Whatever, we get to do this again.
Definitely, man. Like I said, anytime you guys want to interview, please email me or just message me in the DM, and we can set it up again. Definitely, man.
All right, man.
Thank you so much for doing this for me, man. So you guys have a good one, and we will see you guys in the next interview in a couple of days. And you could join that one. I will be interviewing Kairos, who is a motivational speaker. So definitely tune into that, and we're gonna get up out of here. So thank you, man. Have a good one.
All right, you too, man.
All right, deuces.